What's up, guys? Welcome to another and the final Beyond the Gym Floor episode for 2023. It's not a boring 3 things you learned this year. We do talk about our lessons. We do talk about our favorite parts of the year, but it's not boring as some of the ones we've done in the past when we just could be fucked. So we just put some questions together. It's a fun episode. There we unpack some trials that we've had this year and try and frame them in a way that set you guys up to, if you're experiencing the same thing, which we know a lot of you are, how we've been able to navigate them, some trials we're expecting as we grow, and yeah, obviously just outlining what our expansion is going to be into 2024 as well, 90% of it, keeping some secrets for next year. Enjoy. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for every single person that has engaged with us in any way this year. If you've listened to a podcast, if you've liked, shared, subscribed, sent it to someone else, recommended it, we get managers, we get people following us like, oh, my gym manager said to go and watch this. Like anyone who's played a role in our message getting out there this year, we thank you. An extra special thank you to anyone who's bought a ticket to anything or signed up to any of our products, standout, coaching, anything like that. We still don't take any of this lightly, and we understand how much we care about our businesses and want to make sure that we care about yours as much, and want you guys to be as successful as what we want to be. So thank you. Have a safe and happy Christmas, New Year period. We'll be back first week of Jan, and we'll see you then.
Do I get to hijack your ending?
Do it. You can do it.
So thanks for listening.
I squashed it. I didn't want to make mine good because I needed you to come in with, oh yeah, over the top.
Thank you for listening. There you go. I just gave you a thumbnail for the podcast.
It's done. All right, I'm going to Chris Williamson.
Straight off the bat.
This podcast.
Straight off the bat.
No, it's not his interview style where he just says a thing and then just waits for you to talk.
All right. Let's do it.
Only 35% of Australians drink weekly, and 17% have more than 5 drinks in one day per year.
Fuck. Is that people, sorry?
Yep.
Not men.
Over 16.
So 16% of the 35.
No, so 17% in total.
Yeah.
Of the whole population.
Yeah.
Will basically have I guess that's considered a binge drink. So five or more in one day in a whole year.
Wow.
And then my following line is, and people are really out here trying to sell, if you can't party on the weekends, you don't have balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So less than 20% of the population have more than 5 drinks in a day. And there's literally coaches like, if you can't drink on the weekend, you need to address your issues with
your plan
yourself.
or whatever.
You're too restrictive.
Yeah.
Is that crazy?
These are young coaches though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. So the age group, unpacking it, I'm curious, what it would be, what percentage of 20 to 30-year-olds? Because you're going 16 to 80.
Yeah.
There's not many 60-year-olds having 5 drinks. It would be fucking a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
So is that 5 drinks a night?
In one night, in a whole year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically,
that's got to be skewed way towards...
Only 83% of people get drunk once a year.
Whoa, yeah?
That's what the studies show.
How many times have you been lit this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Drunk? Sydney?
I'd say probably 2, maybe 3.
You've been lit 3 times
No.
now?
I mean...
Oh. Only with you?
The times we've been out.
Oh, yeah? Fair enough. I mean, I don't. Not too much.
Yeah,
probably once every 2 months.
Amy's been pregnant for 8 months.
Yeah, true.
So
once every 2 months would be 6 times.
So I'd probably do that quarterly.
Yeah.
On average, and then get fucked up once a year. Now.
Yeah. I definitely do more than that. But not that much. Like,
Yeah.
still.
But I, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Put myself in a position where I couldn't talk for marijuana.
True.
But...
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not. They're not talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the beef you have is that the messaging's not right.
So when I searched it, I was coming from the other side. I was like, it's so fucked up. Like when we went on our like baby moon in the city, I was like, where does a couple go on a Saturday night that doesn't want to drink?
Yeah.
And it's like home.
The theater.
Yeah. And then even, like the Sunday afternoon, we're like, what do we do? It's like, oh, we'll go here. And it was just like every single table had alcohol. And I had to line up for 30 minutes to order my food because everyone was at the fucking bar. Like
Ordering alcohol.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck. Just like as a culture, we just love it. And then I looked it up and I was like, no, we don't. But it's a weird part of our culture.
I feel like we're heavily drinking culture. I don't know how like accurate those statistics are, man.
Yes. I read like 4 different pages and they all said the same thing.
Do you reckon it all came from the same place that pulled?
No, because it was all weird, different interpretations. Like the 17% of the 5 days one came from
I guess
one
if you
place.
go 18 to 65, like I'd just be really interested if it was like 18 to 30.
Yeah,
Like you
I
said.
agree. Yeah, it'd be
it's
much
like,
higher.
Oh, it'd be fucking exponentially higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even in that scenario, so it's like where I was coming at this from is like the trainers that are saying it, right? Or the wellness coaches that are saying it, like, what if they've just fucking grown up and they don't want to do that every weekend anymore?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because if we're saying, yeah, of course, 18 to 30 all the time, and that's like 30 to 40, you probably do it less. 40 to 50 would be way less.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it'd be less.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what if you've just gotten to a point in your 20s that you're like, actually, this doesn't serve me because I've reached a level of life responsibilities or maturity or whatever it is that changes earlier than you.
Yeah.
Because I reckon I stopped binge drinking at about 26.
Yeah.
And that's when I got you used to be fun and like people that I hang out with every weekend that weren't really my friends, they were just people I partied with, lost all those relationships and all that kind of stuff. They're the ones that are like, you don't have balance, you got to let your hair down, all that kind of shit. They're the ones that spread that message. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm actually now part of the 83% that don't do this.
Yeah. Most of the people say that haven't really kind of achieved anything anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, or not in the spectrum that I would aspire to.
Yeah, that's right. So it goes back to that conversation we had in the other podcast. It was just like that their words don't mean anything to you. Yeah. You know, if you have that self-awareness, like it's when you're younger, it's hard. You don't have it. But it's like now if someone said that, I'm just like, these are just noises. Yeah. Going in and out. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Yeah, thanks.
Like, yeah. Is that... Yeah, it's like you wouldn't want to take... You don't need to take their information or their advice because they don't have what you have and they don't want what you want. Yeah. But the alcohol thing, the alcohol thing's weird, man. Like, I reckon, like, we live in a society, especially in Australia. So, like, even I'm just going off like my own experience, not wherever you pulled the research from that. Alcohol is one of the only things. If you don't do it, you have the problem.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. It's super weird.
Yeah,
it's super weird.
It's like you look at it. It's like people will spin the social health, like they'll play the social health card. Yeah. And they'll play it like, you know, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! When he fucking, it's like the card that comes out to win.
the slam token in Tazos.
Yeah. It's like they play it like that. They play the social health card like that. But it's like when you actually look at it, alcohol affects...
Sorry, I just love that we just went Yu-Gi-Oh! And then even further to Tazos. We're fucking older, right?
But it's like outside of that one thing which you could spin it. So you can just, it's like you can polish a turd, right? Yeah. Every other part of every other aspect of health, I would argue, actually gets affected in a negative way. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to write something crafty because like I do my have a whiskey milestone thing. Yeah. And I was planning on having one last night. I didn't in the end. But it was like, because we're
I can do that this weekend. I'm going to a wedding.
Oh, I should have bought cigars.
Should have. Yeah. No, we need to.
Get him on the way.
The old man needs to be
Oh,
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
cigar trip, I think. But yeah, I was like, I'm knowingly doing this that it's negatively impacting my hormones, my mental health, my body composition. I understand. Even if I have a double shot of whiskey, I know the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's like after one standard drink, it'll actually literally impair all of those things.
Yeah, and for people that are quite in tune with their body, like...
Yeah, you notice it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just...
Yeah, but you do all of that just for that moment of increasing your mental health.
And that, like, when we did the Christmas party thing, I was just like, if this gets enormous, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But I know that it's going to be a negative impact for probably 3 days.
You've got to pay the piper, man, at some point.
It turned into not being, which is fine. But it's like I understood the cost. I didn't walk into that being like, pro-social health is good for my overall well-being. It's like, this is going to negatively impact me for an extended period of time.
Yeah. And you're not going to sell that to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think when you see that being sold as the message, the reason why we don't sit with that is because we don't work with people who think that way.
Yeah.
So that's why it is so polarizing when we look at it, because it's like, we're like life by design, like high standards, like, high achievers. And it's like, when you actually think about it, like the personality traits that we're trying to embody and the people that we're trying to attract, they're like, if I have too much to drink, it affects how I perform, and how I perform matters.
Yeah.
Because then shit doesn't get done and whatever. Like, I'm not saying those people never let their hair down. Like, I'm sure like the most successful people in the world let their hair down, but it's like they're not doing it every weekend. So the idea of like creating a method around that behavior is never going to really align with our business.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely an element to like letting off some steam.
Absolutely.
Amy said to me after my little burnout phase the other week, she's like, I was about a day away from messaging Jason and just being like, take this man out and don't bring him home until he can't stand up.
Oh, fuck. Amy, why didn't you message me? I need an excuse.
Yeah. So it's like there is times, I think, to blow off steam. However you do that, there's probably healthier ways. But
yeah,
again, it's just I would never look at that as a healthy behavior.
Yeah. It's not a frequent way of solving that as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, that's an infrequent, but that's an infrequent event too.
Yeah, it's a reset. And it's like, okay, manage this better.
Yeah, and you're also not in a position where those behaviors are frequent.
Yeah.
So then that infrequent behavior might be enough to reset everything. Where if you visit it often, it's not solving it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. It's like people can sit there and do the whole sleep routine, blah, blah, blah. When life gets stressful enough and I can't sleep, nothing resets me better than just getting absolutely baked as hell.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you. Like it's like the reset code to my brain.
Yeah.
As soon as I do it, I'm back to sleeping like proper, uninterrupted. And it's just like each week you might just like sleep a little bit less, like maybe 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like 3 hours you wake up, 2 hours you wake up. And it's like, all right, I just need to do this again.
Uh-huh.
Like I swear, like that's just
a reset.
What I've worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I haven't done forever. That's probably why I can't fucking sleep.
When I thought everyone was getting sick and I felt a bit rough after the in programming workshop.
Yeah.
I had a melatonin and a few draws and I was like, I think I did like 10 hours, 20 minutes. Just like,
yeah.
Bye.
Fuck, I must have dodged it that weekend. I didn't feel absolutely anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was being up front of the room for half the day. Solved
on
it.
the Sunday, maybe everyone was passing around Sunday.
Yeah.
I have another one.
Cool. Let's do it.
Learn just to say thank you. Take the compliment. You deserve it, and you don't need to deflect it.
Yeah. It's hard to do. Hard to do in this society, especially with that the inherent nature of possessing tall poppy syndrome and always having to defend yourself for being having or being or doing something that's different and potentially bigger and greater than others.
Yeah.
So when you get a compliment, you can't sit there and actually enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is hard to move beyond that.
It's taken me ages.
Yeah. Yeah. The car was the first thing. The first car was the first time I had to start to deal with it.
Yep.
I was like justifying it. It's like, I this and that, and I'm this, I've done this, I've had this, and then now I'm just like, now with this one, I'm like, nah, it is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like physique wise, it's like, oh yeah, thanks man. Like,
Yeah.
I've been doing. Now I'm just like, fuck yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's always like, I need to get a little bit leaner. I need to do
Yeah, you're trying to make out as if you don't sit there and look at yourself and go, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because then people, like, it's like, what do they think of me?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between being proud and arrogant.
Mm.
So arrogant is like, you think you're better than other people. So I don't walk around when I'm bigger and go, oh, look at this smaller, inferior person. Like, I walk around going, I'm proud of what I've done for myself.
Yeah.
What I have, what I look like, what I can do.
Yeah.
But people, I guess it comes back down to that maturity thing. Hey.
Yeah.
Because it's it's partly the confidence of not really caring what other people think and caring what you think. And what do you do when you don't know who you are and you're trying to find yourself? You care about what everyone thinks way more.
Insecurity.
Absolutely, man. So it's like the hardest thing when you're young, and for a lot of people probably listening, it's like they don't really have that confidence and stack of proof now. So what other people think means a lot to them.
You know how you teach kids like no is a full sentence?
Yep.
I think thank you
can be
needs to be a full sentence for more people more often.
Yeah.
So I've kept I'm always surprised when I get a compliment. So I'm not faking it. I'm not faking the humbleness nature of my response. It's my instant response like, oh.
Yeah.
And that used to turn into, but this, and this. And that's why this isn't that impressive.
Yeah.
Now I do thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I am really surprised, but there's enough time for me to go, thank you.
Yeah, I think
that's it.
Acknowledging someone who's gone to the effort to say something like that is just as important as receiving it and being able to say.
Yeah, I feel like it makes them feel better too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've had people, notably in the last 6 months, just because we've been training real hard.
Yeah.
But I was like, it takes a lot to walk up to someone and just be like, you know what? Like, I'm really impressed with what I see, or even people on Instagram, like, you guys are doing well. Like, like, it takes a lot. Like, they have to physically go out of their way for time and give you time and energy to do that.
Yeah.
So I think you don't need to justify after that because they've gone to that effort to open that discussion up.
Yeah.
So you can just sit there and say, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Make them feel nice about doing it too.
Yeah.
We spoke about that a couple of months ago. I think it was like, if you admire someone, let them know, and then it makes you're going to feel better knowing they appreciate what you said.
Yeah.
Because you give someone a compliment and they say thank you to you, it's like, oh,
I made the day better, and that makes me
feel good. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's interesting. We over the at the comp on Sunday, so we had powerlifting comp for a few. Jess and I both had lifters. I had probably 4 people either stop me or in conversation just be like, fuck, man, you guys are flying at the moment. Or like, bro, like fucking trimmed up heaps or whatever.
Yeah.
Mostly about the business. But yeah, I was just really conscious to be like, yeah, we are. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's still a trap I fall into. I'm like, oh, there's more. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, you always talk about
what's coming. Yeah,
like we still got, or we're just like, yeah, man, we're just biting off.
Yeah,
and just chewing as hard as fuck. Like that's still not accepting the compliment fully though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I still fall into that trap.
Yeah,
especially with the business.
Yeah.
Especially with work stuff, I definitely find it harder than like if I just get like a personal compliment.
Yeah,
like now I can, with the help of you guys, just say thank you.
Yeah,
but work I find it a little bit tougher.
Still coming. Do you ever find it weird that people remember who you are?
No.
Even if you remember them?
If you don't remember them?
Even if you do.
Oh. So you remember that person, they remember you?
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if they remember me. So
yeah,
I'll be
getting
like a soft high.
yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, hey Ben." I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, when you haven't seen someone for a while, it's kind of weird. You remember someone more than they remember you.
Yeah, but I always perceive that because
Yeah.
I have a decent recall as well. So I'm like, "Oh, is that?"
I'm
they
terrible
know
with
I am?
names, so I try
Yeah,
not to.
or it's like particularly like in the powerlifting space, it'll be like a meet director that I haven't seen for 2 years since the last comp that I went to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not gonna remember who I am. It's like just I coach some people, or I maybe lifted, and they're like, "Oh, hey, bro." You're like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Hi.
Yeah, it's still cool when people do remember you.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Or call you
But
Ben.
it's just like,
Means you left a good impact.
well, yeah. Like obviously, it's a yeah.
Someone called me Ben once. It was funny.
Oh,
Did they?
Yeah, it was. I can't say it here. It was when we were at
right.
after the intensive. When we were at Dingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'm just like, yeah, sweet, bro. Just like, I know you're really drunk right now, but I'll just let you have that one.
Yeah. We do not look that similar.
Yeah. Don't know how you fucked that one up, bro, but you had a lot to drink by the looks of it. So.
Yeah. I used to get it with the podcast a bit. People would be like, "Which one's which?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "I'm the one that sounds bogan. The other one's Jason."
Yeah, I think we sound quite similar now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a very distinct difference at the start.
Yeah. Yeah. My
lost
neck.
the wine. You lost the wine.
Yeah, and my neck got thicker, so my
Yeah.
voice got
The
deeper.
wine is shortened.
Yeah.
There was the fold-out table stage in Point Cook, and then you went to Essendon.
Fuck, the fold-out table was the worst.
Yeah, that's no one knows.
It's the
those
worst
days.
content
That
ever
goes.
created.
That goes in that photo
the
shoot.
hypothetical fold-out table
Yeah.
podcast that happened.
Yeah, it's you know how the episodes start at 30, guys? That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, that goes in the vault with that photo shoot.
Yeah, it's honestly some of the worst content ever created.
Yeah,
But it was like the best quality at the time, hey?
yeah.
It's pretty professional.
No one else had it.
Always trying to set the standard, damn.
Always. Whether we succeed or
Whether
not.
it was that standard was obviously pretty low at the time.
It was basically just Facebook posts then.
Yeah, it's terrible.
What a simpler time.
Yeah.
You just write stuff.
Imagine if we knew what we knew now. Then
Fuck.
Dominate.
Game over.
that's you take the time over the money,
Yeah.
right?
100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. Be on tour with James Smith and Chris.
I'll do that. I would
Or you'll be the James and
market better and buy Bitcoin. It's my only. Instead of buying illegal substances on Silk Road when I was 20, I should have just kept that Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So you all did it. Don't fucking judge me.
Yeah, and if you didn't, you knew what he said.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone knows what Silk Road was.
Unless you're under 25 and
yeah,
you're like, what?
Yeah, it's just like, well, back in our day.
If only I only know what that is because last week I got into a hole on YouTube.
Oh, right.
All these like conspiracies and
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a documentary on it.
crime
Yeah, it's really good.
documentaries.
That
Yeah.
doco.
Yeah, it's good.
Sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was made in Scandinavia. Like
Right.
created, and it's not an American
Yeah.
doco.
So it's probably
awesome.
like the real story.
Yeah, so it's great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so fucking agenda
Hollywood.
in it.
Yeah, it's not Hollywood.
Bro, do you see how much money Disney's lost?
No.
I'm not going to go into like the deep.
Is that because everyone's
One-
unsubscribing from them because of what the whole X thing?
There's that.
Mm.
Yeah, and obviously just what hit movies Disney released this year?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
They all tanked.
Yeah.
Every single one.
movies.
168 billion. Yeah, they reckon Apple is going to buy them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're almost. The rumor is, this is Patrick Bet David, recycled information. Disney's actually trying to break its business into mini businesses so more people can afford to buy it. Because at the moment it's only Apple, and Apple have cash
Yeah.
to just walk in and be like,
Yeah, we'll take the whole thing for a fire sale fee.
Yeah. So the agenda model has failed.
Interesting.
Yeah, the consumers disagree.
Yeah, well, they've just been a bit too far, I reckon.
Mm.
Yeah, I saw something where like heaps of people were unsubscribing from their
Yeah, they
Because of
attacked Elon
Elon,
some
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
the sponsorship shit or something.
Yeah.
Not using his platform. They said they weren't going to use his platform because he was
Yeah.
too free spoken or whatever.
Yeah.
So people were just like,
That's the interview we did. We just told everyone, get fucked, right?
yeah. What a G. So fuck you guys.
Savage.
He's like the closest person to being like Batman and fucking
Yeah.
the super villain in
It's
that.
probably more
yeah.
like Iron Man.
Yeah. So he could
Tony
be
Stark.
Iron Man, or he could be who's the supervillain in Batman? He's just like the rich guy.
In Batman,
The rich guy.
are you talking about
No, Superman.
Lex
Lex
Luthor?
Luthor. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, so he could be Lex Luthor or he could be Iron Man.
Yeah.
So he could just be either or.
It's a fine line.
Yeah. Like he
Batman's
just,
pretty fucking rich too.
yeah, well, Batman, like he could be Batman as well. Like
Yeah.
he's basically just like a rich dude who could just do whatever the fuck he wants. So he can be like a philanthropist,
Yeah.
but he could also end mankind.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he's actually probably more like Batman because it's like he's
Hang on, you talking about Iron Man?
I reckon,
Well,
I reckon he's more like Batman.
Batman's just he's a rich ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has all the tools. Like he has a cool car, he's got gadgets and shit. Iron Man's the same. He's got a suit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like he's
but
close
everyone
enough.
knows that Stark's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Whereas like he could just fucking go and put a suit on and fuck the world up and no one would know.
yeah. He could also make like a laser that could destroy the world.
yeah. Lex style.
Yeah. He could just be like, you guys have 30 minutes to live. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
If
He's
I
like-
end up on Feet Finder next week, I'm fucking coming for commission. I'm not saying don't do it, just pay me.
I'm just saying I'm aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah. I know my foot's in the camera, and if you use it, I want cut.
Ooh, getting saucy on
Is
the last.
Is that why you wear socks?
Nah, I didn't. You
Oh,
don't
we
want to see
got
these.
complimented on his socks the other week.
Oh,
Of
really?
course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy on YouTube was like, nice black socks.
I used to get
Thanks, guy.
I used to have a guy that would, every time I would post my shoes,
Oh,
he'd be like, "What size are
Some
they?"
fucking weirdos out
Fuck.
there.
Oh. I'm not telling you.
They're whatever size you want them. To
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
You can buy them
Or
for
just like
I
five.
was just thinking.
You can buy them for $1,000 as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
so I can buy 2 pairs.
That's how I'll get those college blues tan.
That's it.
Oh, I was like, I'll be good with shoes, and then like yesterday or the day before, I bookmarked like 5 more shoes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I haven't done it for a while.
You deserve it, man.
I haven't bought them yet.
So you know how we talked about the person, like to come to the right person when you want to on the other podcast?
Yeah.
If you want to buy the shoes, come to me.
Yeah.
I just asked.
I
you
just
that.
go straight to the Brains Trust group. Like,
Yeah.
I want these. Get them. All right. Thank you.
You deserve it, bro. Worked hard, man. I'm that guy. I'll twist your arm. It's okay.
Well, in case you're wondering, they're still the same price, Ben.
Still 750 smackaroos.
No, actually, it depends what size you are, but since I looked, they're like
What's the most you'd pay for a pair of shoes?
Not that.
What's the most, though?
probably
$300
about
bucks.
You're going to struggle.
Probably around that, like seven something.
Yeah, I reckon 750 would be the most.
Yeah. 1,000's like, all right, this.
You're
bit
kind of
much.
almost not wearing them
Yeah.
at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I've
happy
already spent 550, so I can't say.
less than that.
Yeah, but I don't really wear them because my
On
feet.
shoes.
Yeah, my feet are fatter now
Yeah.
because I'm heavier, so I can't even wear them because they're like the Vapor Max.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I can't even wear them because if I wear them, I'll split the
Yeah.
the sole.
I'm not close enough to your size to entertain the thought of.
Oh, taking them?
Trying
Yeah,
them on.
nah.
Yeah.
It's like, what size are you?
I'm only 8.
I'm a size 10.
You're 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would take a lot for me to pay over retail.
Really?
I'd pay over retail for custom ones, like to get STC ones or whatever, but I don't think I'd buy an aftermarket. Yeah. Not in my current.
Just never gonna. Own
Not in
really
my
nice
current-
shoes.
yeah.
I was just gonna say we're
Yeah, you
just
did.
different.
The
Yeah.
bots.
in that
The bots
aspect.
are gonna get you, bro.
Not in
yeah.
my current lifestyle situation.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's
yeah.
fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. But like, there's a good chance that my son will have
Mm.
shelves of shoes that
Shoes that
he
won't-
grows out of in 2 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say $70 pair of Jordans that he'll wear for fucking 3 months.
Yeah. If that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we keep going, I just want to give you guys a little message about our Standout PT program. So Standout PT has been designed for personal trainers who want to sustain a long-term career in fitness, but right now they're sick of chasing clients, they're not making enough time for money, and they're super frustrated with the results that they're getting in their business, and they can't see themselves being here in 3 to 5 years' time. If you want to know more about the Standout PT program, head to stcfitlearning.com, head to programs, and all the details are there, and you can book in your free exploration call where we can have a look and see whether or not that would actually be a suitable program for where your business is at right now. And back to the episode. So, Friday. Speaking of Disney, the Avengers were assembled.
I was like,
Wow, what a segue.
Fuck, nailed it. Nailed it. I
What a
planned
segue.
it.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
definitely
good.
did not. Yeah, so we brought all of the new STC partners together.
Yeah.
So if you haven't been paying attention,
-1.
-1. Well, she came for a bit.
Yeah. The,
She-
digitally.
actually, yeah.
the technological situation was not.
Yeah, I
well,
assume we had audio issues.
Sorry,
I
Ash.
assume. Yeah, we still love you. But you messed up your own flights. So for those of you that haven't been paying attention, we now have STC Fit, which is our coaching business. So coaching, nutrition, training app. We've since added a nutritionist. Shouts out Annie, who you'll see all of these people on the podcast next year. Then we also have Loz coming on formally as an STC mentality coach. Amy will do the same post baby. So I have the mentality coach. We've also partnered up with Laura Fox from Fox Physio as an online allied health coach, and Ali Brown from, I think she's just Ali Brown Osteo. Sorry if I messed that up.
Yes.
Who are also, doing online allied coaching, which essentially is getting you to perform your absolute best without hands-on treatment, basically. So the goal is that when you go to them, so when you go to most allied health pros, you go in, you're like, this hurts. They poke it, they do a thing, and you leave. The reason we've worked with the girls for as long as we have is because they don't do that.
Yeah.
They want to know your training history, they want to know how you move, they want to know your programming, they want to know all of this stuff, and then they send you away with true rehab programs. The research is really interesting, and it suggests that if the difference between a hands-on and no hands-on treatment after 4 weeks of applying an effective rehab program, the outcomes are exactly the same.
Yeah.
So what's the benefit of going online? Well, what's the benefit of getting hands-on first? The benefit would be that you don't get the pain. Well, you get less pain. So after that initial treatment, doing the rehab is less hard because you're in a little bit less pain. And psychological benefit and all that kind of stuff. Also, sometimes just talking to someone about your problem.
Yeah, makes you feel good.
Being in the room is good. But outside of that, really, outcome-wise, it's going to be really similar if you actually do the thing. And you're not just the person that gets the same shoulder treated every 6 weeks because you don't do what you're supposed to do afterwards, Jason.
Hey, my shoulders are good, man. Got a little bit of a subscap issue going on, but we're good.
So it's me then. Just swap shoulders, depending.
Yeah. I'll just wait till the pain dissipates and I'm like, I'm fine again.
Yeah, it's okay. So that's really cool. That's exciting. So we're also, with all of those, so nutrition, mindset, and the allied side, we'll be looking into coaching elements with that.
Yeah.
To be able to pair different services, all the services, or 1 and 2 and whatever.
Be some interesting little mini products coming out soon as well.
Yeah.
Got a couple in the works already.
Next year for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun. Like, I'm excited to like get a client that's like, hey, I've got this hip niggle that I've had for a year. It's like, send them to Laura first, or send them to Ali first. Be like, get the feedback, write the program, see their check-in to their Allied Health Pro. Allied Health Pro can see their check-in to me. They can see their lifts, can see their rehab movements, and then be like, cool, this is the next step. This is the next step. This is the next step. And then take a bunch of people either out of pain or towards peak performance.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I'm excited for that.
Absolutely.
And then obviously, being able to outsource. I know you're the same, where there's a certain level of coaching, let's call it, where it starts to get to a point where it's outside our scope.
Yeah.
And even if it was inside our scope, we just practically can't be the person.
Yeah,
to solve the problem.
There's also probably someone better.
Yeah. So in those circumstances, it's like, if you need to go down a rabbit hole with nutrition, you can see Annie. If you need to go down a rabbit hole with your relationship with food or training or life or stress or whatever, and that's what's preventing your outcomes, like, cool, we can co with one of the mentality coaches.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And they're all awesome at the job. So that's exciting. Obviously, STC Learn as well, which is also expanding. So as of right now, we have social media management. So starting from basically an audit of your social media, getting a report, what you should do, what you should change, what direction you should go in. You can also get active. So Crystal is who we're working with from Peach Media. She can actually come out and get content for you if you're Melbourne-based. She can do that, which is really cool, and teach you how to capture good content, which is also really useful if you're not that way inclined. Then you can go to another level where she actually creates content for you. You kind of work 50-50 on creating that content. And then top tier is obviously just like, you do this.
Yeah,
It's
done
too
for
hard.
you.
Yeah. Which for, that scaling business, maybe you got multiple coaches, maybe you're a gym, that kind of scale, you would probably look at that system, that model. So that's exciting. Ash, who you mentioned, who was MA, you would recognize, people from the pod would recognize that name, now called Forward Moves, if you have missed the brand change, who's going to be doing our web services. So website, app build outs. I think the most popular one is going to be like the branding kit. So it's like deep dive into the personality of your brand, what it is, choose your colors off the back of that, choose your font off the back of that, and then put together like templates for your social media, and you can then flow that into whatever else you do. I think that'll be epic. We've also got, I can't remember what they're called, a couple of kits. One of them's like your introduction to going online, basically. So what you're going to need. So you get some resources, you get some tracking documents and all that kind of stuff to use with your clients and this branding kit. And then you can go to a premium one, which is basically what we did. So it's just like build a rebrand launch for us.
Yeah.
So you could be a booked out PT and be like, I'm going to really have a crack at online. This is the best way to set that up. I'm time poor because I'm doing 40, 50 sessions a week, 20, 30 hours of coaching. You just do this and make it happen, which is also really cool. And then obviously the girls are working on the mentality side as well.
Yeah.
Helping business owners just fucking believe in themselves.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely
is probably what holds most people back the most. It's just self-belief in that you can do the thing, that you're good enough, that you can post the content, that you can whatever, show up in the way you need to. That's all now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, next year. We don't have that yet. Oh, sneaky. Just rewind 15 seconds. Get the inside scoop. So yeah, a couple of new things still coming. We want to do VA and we want to do bookkeeping.
We are going to.
Yes, we will be. Stay tuned. So yeah, Avengers Day. We're calling it.
Avengers Day.
What'd you think? Had
It's
all
fun.
of those people in one room for 2 hours looking at next year. I actually made my presentation and was like, I'm going to accept that there's spelling and grammar mistakes and not let Jace read it because I want him to see it live.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
It was great, man. Obviously, we've been working on a way to take the business that way for a while. Obviously, didn't know really how to do that. That finally pieced the puzzle together. So to see it come together and be really confident with it is fucking super exciting. Yeah, even like the last couple of months, just belief's high.
Yeah.
Yeah, can see it. Believe it.
Yeah.
Like I know, yeah. It's like have no doubt that it's going to work.
And you're obviously working on the products at the moment too.
Yeah.
Which I'll be joining you soon.
Yeah.
At some point, probably February.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really cool too.
Yeah. It's funny. How do you even describe what's happening? It's just like a multiplication of what we have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything's being taken out horizontally.
Yeah.
So, the services, the products, the people.
So what products are you working on at the moment?
So we're working on standalone products for Learn, which will be individual modules from Standout PT.
Yeah.
So we'll have a systems bundle. We'll have mentality bundle. We'll also have a service bundle, a sales bundle.
And socials separately.
Socials bundle as well. So you'll be able to just access that information if that's all you want.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to have like the hard skills, like our programming workshops, like either of them. There's going to be a hybrid product / service coming of that, as we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're a new trainer, just need to, kind of get yourself off your feet, or you want to have everything lined up before you start, which is what we would recommend. Then we have like a foundations bundle as well, which will literally be like, tick all of these boxes before your first week.
Yeah.
Do all of this in your first 3 months type thing.
And you'll dominate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's happening on the learn side, and then on the fit side, we're putting together the first product. I think will be a coaching mini course between one of our mentality coaches and our nutritionists around that whole connection between mentality and nutrition, like mindset and nutrition. So that'll probably be the first thing in the works for that. So we just spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah, relationship with food stuff.
Yeah, best way to start the year too. We talked about like everyone's going to be doing the goal setting thing.
Diets.
Well, everyone's going to be doing the goal setting thing because that's just like what the industry does. Like everyone's doing like managing Christmas now.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like if you guys wanted to do this product, this is
when. Yeah.
We're going to do this straight off the bat, start of the year. It's going to be the perfect time.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So and other stuff will happen as things eventuate.
And then obviously the services building out. So a lot of the fit side will be resources that are created for
members,
the coaching portal.
Yeah.
So the app, basically. So if you're an app subscriber, you'll get it. If you're a client, you'll get it across any of those services.
Yeah. Heavily client experience focused on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which will be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just the cross-pollination of coaches now with your coach is amazing. Some of the guys need one-off mentality sessions just to unpack some shit. Some of them need meal plans and just like to unpack some stuff with a nutritionist. Like we said, it just gets to a point where you're like, there's someone better than me than this now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to jump at the first hurdle, but we're going to, at the second one, go, it's probably better if you just go and see Annie now.
Yeah.
Talk about your nutrition, get a meal plan from her, work it out. Like, it's going to be probably better than...
Yeah, and it's the coolest part is like we've always had this referral network, but it's like now it's like go see Annie and Annie pulls up all of your nutrition data ever entered into our coaching app.
Yeah.
And can see adherence, program prescriptions, results, all of it. And it's not like, well, the calculator says this should be this. It's like we can see this happens at this.
Yeah, it's all in one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Big year.
Huge.
Big year. So this is our last episode before Christmas, which I probably already said in the intro, but it's a fucking wild year.
Yeah. It's hard to... I don't even remember what we've done.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a breakfast and I'm like, when did this year start? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when did...
In the
what
timeline.
did we do?
Where am I in the timeline?
Yeah, because we went to Penrith at the end of... Well, was it start or end of the year?
Penrith.
I think we went to Sydney.
Let me try a look.
I think we went to Sydney at the end in December.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know when.
Yeah.
Because we went twice, but it's like one of them was last year.
Mm.
So it's like, yeah, that's what I mean. I don't like. It's just this year's been a blur. It started hot.
Yeah, we did the Paddo work. We did Paddo.
Yeah, so I think that was
last year, and then we did Brisbane this year in March.
Brisbane, yeah, correct. And then we went back to at the end of the year.
Yeah.
This year, like September. We went to, was it September?
Yeah, Sydney.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we did Melbourne.
Penrith.
Yeah.
December last.
Correct.
So 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queensland, March.
Yeah, we did so we've travelled interstate. We've presented twice in Melbourne.
Yeah, 2-day workshops plus
Photo shoot.
plus the event weekend.
Good life.
Yep.
Intensive.
And we did the ground of strength lift off.
Yep.
Sydney
It's been a
weekend,
fucking
Melbourne
year.
weekend, yeah.
Woo! Did we do a photo shoot earlier in the year?
Yeah, we
we
did.
did.
May.
Yeah,
We
like
did.
We did 2 photo shoots.
Yeah, that was ground of strength weekend.
Yeah, so we did. Yeah.
2 shoots, 2 lift offs in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff in
One in Sydney.
Yeah.
One in Brisbane.
Workshop in Brisbane.
Next
photo
year.
shoot. Yeah, photo shoot. Yep.
Yeah. First weekend of March, fam will be in Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Because everyone that came last time was from the Gold Coast and drove to Brisbane. So we're rewarding those people
by
going straight to Gold Coast. So if you are in Brisbane,
should have come
Gold
last
Coast
time.
people drove last time. So you
Should have come
last
last time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking cool. Yeah, I was thinking about like it's penciled fucking into like stained in my brain on the 9th hole at Werribee Golf Club. You saying, "Fuck, I'm just playing so much golf at the moment. I'm really scared."
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can put myself in the exact moment you said it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
I
now
haven't touched my clubs.
Now we've played Twice in the last 6 months. I put them in the garage. That's it.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Yeah, mine are in the back room.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is a sign of future development.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We have to play next week.
Yeah.
Week after.
Yeah, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. What's your biggest takeaways for the year?
Takeaways?
Lessons, standout moments.
Standout moments were...
What was your favourite moment of the year? Start.
My favourite moment was probably the intensive programming workshop. Pretty close.
I thought you'd say programming, yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty close. I think intensive in terms of like the event.
Yep.
And then my personal delivery.
Yep.
The programming workshop.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I don't think I could come and execute something so like to that state. I don't think I need to be any better.
Yeah.
At the programming workshop. I'm not saying I wasn't there for but like just getting the people there for the intensive was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we can do programming. Like you can just like, hey, programming workshop. Like, you know,
it's like, pretty fillable.
Yeah, it's like bees to honey. You know, it's queen bee.
Personal trainers.
Yeah. That's it. It's
the
like,
secret.
Yeah, it's like queen bees, the programming workshop. All the bees come.
That's my podcast cover.
Yeah. Where like the intensive was, it's like hard to kind of move into that space of, you know, business mentoring, systems, education. So to do that was probably, that and like the traveling is always, it's hard, man. Like you've done so many things. Like traveling is humbling. Going to another state.
It's wild.
But like even at the intensive, there were people who traveled in state to come see us. So it's like, and then people come the day before and gave up their time. I think if I'm going to really summarize it, it's the most humbling experience of the year was anyone who gave up their time to allow us to occupy it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
still
gives me, still blows my mind, even though we do all of this to do that.
Yeah.
It's very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never do after workshops. We never, because we don't think it's a thing. We never offer the take a photo. If you want a photo, come up the front. And Jess did it for the intensive. And that's mine.
Yeah.
2 full days of relentless information and action in the room. We're done. Q&A is finished. You all can leave. And Jess goes, if you want a photo with the boys, hang around.
Yeah.
And like 90% of the room stayed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you want a photo with me for?
It's like we got a group photo.
Yeah. Like just post the group. It was so
special, man.
Yeah, that's like that sums up the feeling that you're describing. It's not a celebrity thing. It's just like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Because that's not just the intensive. It's the pod. It's the personal Instagram. It's the brand Instagrams. It's all of it that people like, we're paying attention and we value what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's helping us. It's making a difference to us, which is...
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that and when... like having these weekends where we train and having my clients come from like, so like when Matt came to train with Adrian and I wasn't supposed to go, like that was pretty special for me. Yeah. Because it's like, we've always like, we highlighted community as like being a really big flaw and a weakness in our business a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You and I have always kind of like, how do we make this work without us being people who we're not?
Yeah. And
we've done it across the business, and I tried to obviously do it even at a micro level with like my coaching and stuff. And to be able to like Jackson's coming to stay at my house on Friday.
Yeah. 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 We're going to Mads' wedding tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all of that stuff is like, it's, like I think maybe just the shift in culture.
Yeah.
Developing a community. That's only really kind of really, become strong and evident over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's because it's making work fun.
Agreed.
Makes work fun.
Which last year was the thing, right?
Yeah.
This is what we need, is to enjoy this again and have a really good time. And then this is the year we did it, and it's been fucking great.
Yeah, and I still possess that part of leadership, which is like do.
Yeah.
Like lead by example.
Mhm.
And I know having my clients and who live to a high standard and level, it does in some instances push me to be that way too.
Mm.
Like, a few of them like, fuck, like, how do you do all this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just make it happen.
Yeah.
And it helped. And they're like, it's great to watch.
Yeah.
It's great to see. And then even just from training, it's like, it's good to see you train hard. It's good to see you devote your time to putting the effort in and doing the hard shit. And you can see the reward of it. And they're like, it motivates me. And I'm like, well, having you guys motivates me.
100.
Having a high group of people like this, and even in standout and shit, it's the same. It's like having all these coaches. Like you assume a different level of responsibility when you have responsibility.
Yeah. That obligation kicks in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the more obligation, the stronger the obligation, the greater the drive. It's kind of like you feed off it a bit. Like there's no, like, we talk about it, it's like there's no better way to like show up than have people who depend on you.
Yeah.
And that is probably the best way of describing it in the most positive way.
Yeah.
Because I want to show up. It's just I'm showing up even better now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the people showing up to train thing, I can't wait to have some kind of normality back where this Saturday session thing can become a thing, because I think it really can.
Yeah.
I think we can get... It's not, and like you said, it's not even everyone comes to train together. It's just like, we're all going to be in this place. And whoever wants to come can come.
Yeah, you just do your workout, but just
and then
hang out, talk
we're
shit.
all going to go eat and whatever, and that's where the hang happens. But like, I think there was a spot there where I had a random that I'd never met that's now one of my best friends and just spent a weekend with us and presented for us. Like, just off the back of want to train. Cool. Then I reckon I had 3 out of 5 weekends I had a client in Melbourne that was like, can we train?
Yep.
So that Doherty's like 4 out of 8 weeks. I was like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And then we had 6 when I went up for Maddie's comp in another state. 6 like community members inside the gym.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, it's been a good year.
Yeah.
I just think it's so funny coming from when we tried to push for that community, and now it's just from simply doing more and being in more places, it's created itself.
Yeah. And like, how do I
Like, you
put
can't
this?
force
There's a
it.
bit of a curing as well, like of the biz.
Yeah.
Bringing Jess in.
100%.
So
So I said your name, Jess. So thank you.
Yeah.
Props to me.
I was
bringing
about to
Jess-
go there. Like,
Bringing Jess in and having we were able to kind of start again from a culture perspective and not have any pushback.
yeah.
I think that was a big deal as well.
Yeah.
Both of those things happening was great. Jess coming in and
I think we need to pay big respect to Jess
absolutely
for that community element.
Yeah, she's great.
So magnetic.
Yeah, and she's great with people. Like just in general, like just like the way she interacts with them and organizes things, and like you and I are most likely better at communicating with everyone because of that.
Yeah.
Obviously, like a really good, it's like a softer introduction to you and I through her.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, for a lot of them, like probably meet her first and then see the boys, where it's like, I would never hang out with, like they're probably like, I would never hang out with you and I.
With Jason,
Yeah. It's like they're just, there's that preconceived idea. It's like a bit older, successful, big, intimidating, whatever.
Yeah.
So if they see her and they're like, oh no, like I hang out
Jess
with these
is like
guys.
their teddy bears.
Yeah, like we hang out with these dudes all the time. Like they're fine. So it's like almost
Definitely
like
helps.
her saying like, nah, these dudes are good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I did the first meet with Crystal, so they're obviously friends. And apparently when I left, Crystal looked at Jess and was like, oh, I get it. Like, he's really kind. And it's that thing. It's like the perception of the like... It's like
and
light
and you and
balance
I
up.
being like ultra intense when it comes to work.
Yeah.
Like super intense humans.
We just love it. It's all right.
It's just passion, man. It's hard to...
And it's all that much more efficient and exponentially better that you two can just stay dialed in, and Jess is like, all right, I'll be the face.
Yeah.
It's helped a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like looking at the room that we had on Friday is just like all of those people bring their communities, but their communities all align with ours.
Yeah.
which is awesome because they all do. There was no like,
So pretense.
yeah, and there was no one that was brought in that wasn't just because we needed that thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, we need someone in nutrition. Who could we get? It was like,
Because there's so many of them out there.
I did a coaching call with Annie. I was like, you need to come work with us.
Yeah.
Like you are us, and you just need to be here now.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, they're handpicked, man.
Yeah, and that's that's the coolest part. It's not just how do we increase revenue. Well, we'll put this element of the business in.
A lot of them, the list was a one of one, and it was just like we have to get them.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
yeah.
like,
and if
we'll
we
move
don't,
on to the next one.
if we don't, we'll just wait till we find the next best one.
Yeah, that's right. But at the time, it was most of them were a one of one, and it's like, okay, well, we need to find someone who embodies this, and then we're going for them. We're not just getting the next person who does what they do.
Yeah, even
Doesn't
if it
work that
means
way.
we don't offer that service for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just doesn't work. We've done it before.
yeah,
Just not going down that path again.
correct.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Another quick break. I just wanted to jump in and remind you guys about the STC Fit Learning Mentorship. Now, our mentorship's been running since about 2016, where we've developed trainers through their first year of business in personal training and allowed them to leapfrog the first 5 years of mistakes that we made. If you're currently studying, looking to finish in the next month or so, or you're looking for someone to help you out with mentoring and all that kind of stuff, jump on, have a look at the details for the mentorship at stcfitlearning.com. Head to programs and mentorship, and all the details are there. And you can come and be an STC Fit coach for an entire year. Includes all of our education and direct mentoring from our head coaches. Back to the episode.
So what about lessons?
Lessons. Fucking don't give up.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Yep.
Because the year before was rough.
Yeah, it's that whole meme of like when the guy stops digging for gold
Yeah.
and the other guy keeps going, right?
Yeah.
And that guy's just so close. I think about that all the time. I'm just like, every time I've thought about moving on, I know I'm so close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's real hard to remember that in the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like every time you're being tested, it's a sign that you're close.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's probably the most generic thing that, business coaches can tell you, but it's like it fucking holds true because we've been there.
Yeah, and that's the difference is the business coach that read about it.
Yeah.
And
I think Alex has said it as well. Like, so I respect that coming out of his mouth. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like a real cliche thing to say, right?
Yeah.
But we have literally been moments from walking away from this and having an open conversation between the two of us. Like, are you feeling the same as me? So, and we're both on that level. And then just to be here now is, and we haven't even talked about some of the stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
News-wise, which we will disclose later next year. So you'll have to tune back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to be here, man, is fucking, I can't even put it into words.
Yeah.
So yeah, never give up's a good one. I know it's fucking cliche, but fuck, it holds true right now.
Yeah.
For you and I especially.
I know you've got one about people.
So mine's a bit...
sort of half touched it and then...
So yours is really positive, and that's great.
But I'm going to jump in on this one too.
Yeah, I think I was trying to package this in a way that is still positive, and I think the way I'm looking at things is it's like the cost of entry, and that they knowing what those costs are.
Yeah,
and the harsh reality that the last 12 months has been, especially, is that you will lose people that you thought were part of your team, and it's solely because of the success that you have achieved.
Yeah.
As much as and it can literally be people who you think want to see you win, but they just don't want you to win it
more than them,
to win more than they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or without them.
Yeah, and I honestly think, and sometimes I can see it from their point of view as well.
Yeah.
You're seeing other people win.
Yeah.
And it distracts you. Like we've done the cure your Instagram so you have no distractions.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get a second of defocus from what I need to do, or it makes me feel annoyed or frustrated or whatever, you're gone.
Yeah.
Because I just want to be dialed.
Yeah.
So I can respect it, and we've been upset about it,
Yeah.
but the maturity that I've developed from it is that this is how it's going to be. Like, you know, when you and I had the reflection at the Christmas party, like afterwards when it was just you and I at the bar, and you were like, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Like what we were talking about at the time, you were like, it's only going to get bigger as we get bigger.
Yeah.
And I was like, going back to 2 weeks ago or last week, we chose it.
Yeah.
So it's upsetting, but the harsh reality is that not a lot of people want to see you win.
Yeah.
Realistically, only the people in this room.
Inside here
in our immediate circle, which is our most loved people that they're the only ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there might be a little ripple effect outside of that. And you've got to be okay with that.
Yeah. I'm working really hard to let go of time of relationships. That relationships aren't measured by the time.
Yeah. It's like
they're measured by the impact
of when you needed it.
And even if that impact is 3 months.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I agree. I think you told me that. It was like the impact of the relationship when you needed it.
Yeah.
Is more important than how long you've been.
Yeah. There's still a few that there's chips of the way they ended.
Absolutely.
That are really disappointing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm if I'm working on anything, it's being able to look at even those relationships and be like,
what did you get
during that time frame?
What'd you get from it?
It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with that. That comes with a tremendous amount of maturity, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I can get heated at the time.
Yeah.
So you're not going to always be able to navigate this perfectly, guys. Like
100. Yeah.
But I'm always trying to, like, my wife's like, you're so positive. She's like, that's the one thing I love about you is you can always move on from shit.
Yeah.
I was like, mate.
Yeah.
Do you remember who I was when I first met you?
Mm.
It's like fucking the hairline trigger temper.
Yeah.
You know, so like it takes time to be able to reflect and move on from that.
Yeah, you do well to have a minute and then what's next?
Yeah, of course. You have to.
Yeah. It's like I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
And I need to be annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, you challenge the
And
loyalty part of things. You challenge the loyalty part of things like, I'll get over this for me, but you're out.
Yeah.
Like, you're never getting back in.
Yeah.
Like, because that's just the value that, like, I feel like once you've done it for me, you're out.
Yeah, I've got a few even like, you view your stories.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I think I need to even just...
Yep.
It's not even that I want to block them because I don't like them. It's just like it makes me feel away when I see watching the story. It's like, just fuck off. Like, stop it. I need to block you. I don't need to whatever.
Yeah, you just can't control that.
You're just not here for a positive reason. I know it. I can feel it. And every time it just brings up a little thing. So I'm just like, you just can't see this anymore.
Yeah, so
it affects me negatively.
And that's another lesson is like you get to control your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for you to be able to show up the way you need to all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to need to control your energy like that. And I'm the same. Like, people have asked throughout the year, have you heard about this? Do you know what's going on with this person? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? And you and I are just like, we don't look at anything because we don't care.
Yeah. I think you need to... A lot of people get... Even with the unfollow thing, right? It's like if you disappear from being able to see my story, I don't hate you. Yeah. It's like I don't enjoy the feeling.
Yeah, and we have to...
Feel the same way about other people.
Yeah,
which is way harder.
We have to get used to that happening to us.
Yeah.
Going off that cost of entry, I think if you don't understand the cost of entry to most things that you venture into as a fitness business owner, an entrepreneur, an adult, it'll cost you progress.
Yeah.
It'll literally affect your development.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to be an online coach. The cost of entry to be an online coach is I need to be where? Online. What does that involve?
Yeah.
So then it's like, if you don't because people like the idea, even we'll bring it back to us so that people don't switch off and say, fuck you. Traveling state to state, running workshops, putting yourself out there, because the goal for us is to actually present overseas. Mm-hmm. The cost of entry to doing that is book the fucking workshop, book the venue, pay for the venue and fill it.
Yeah.
So what do we pay? $3,000.
Yeah. Here.
Unrefundable.
Yeah.
$3,000.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get the money back. And we had to pay another $3,000 on top of that.
Yeah.
Right? So that is literally the cost of entry for us to do all of those things is to have the doubt, have the fear, the anxiety that no one's going to come, you know. But and then to still rock up potentially to 1 to 2 people.
Yeah.
And have a plan of what happens if we don't, what happens if. And we executed that flawlessly.
Yeah.
But if we don't understand the cost of that, we might never do it.
Yeah.
And it might never catapult the brand and, you know, have this snowball effect that it has done by us going state to state, event to event.
Yeah.
And there's so many parallels that comes into in the gym and online.
Yeah.
You want to be a personal trainer? The cost of entry to be a personal trainer is be present in your fucking gym.
Yeah.
Talk to all your members. Try and help everyone.
Run a new business.
Yeah. You're online. You're not posting content. There's no presence there. The cost of entry is this.
Yeah.
And I think if you can understand what it takes to be successful in the space that you want to be in, it makes doing those things much not easier, but it draws awareness to why you have to do them.
Yeah.
It's like everyone hates doing Bulgarian split squats, but they'll do them if someone says like, hey, they'll make your glutes and your legs stronger. So like, okay, we'll do them.
For that ass.
That's it. So understand. Yeah. I think that's a great.
So I have a quote from Ben Scott STC on this.
Ooh, look out.
When you buy a car, you start with a price range. Do the same thing for your goals. What price are you willing and able to pay, and what features matters most? Then make your choice. So if you're going to sit down and go, I want to be an online coach, what cost are you willing to pay for it?
Yeah.
And then even just within business, what cost are you willing to pay? Time, emotional energy, fucking exposure to rejection, exposure to all of the downsides. What are all the downsides of you doing this thing?
Yep.
Are you willing to pay? Are you willing for it to be that expensive? Know how expensive it's going to be before you jump in, and then commit to doing it. And if you're not willing to pay the price, you can't drive the Lambo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then like the features thing too is like, well, if you're not willing to pay anything, how much is it going to cost for the thing? If that makes sense. So when I bought the Hyundai, I was like, it must have adaptive cruise, and lane assist, because I'm going to be doing heaps of highway Ks.
Yeah.
And good fuel economy. What car can I get? There's cars that look better. There's cars in similar price ranges. There's bigger. There's all of these features that I could have got, but this had the two things at the price I was willing to pay. So what outcomes do you want from your business, and then what's it going to cost to do that? If you want to work on the beach in Bali, what's the cost of that? Well, you have to fucking take on that people think you're a coach that works on the beach in Bali.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to be fucking present online. You're going to have to do cold DMing at the start. You're going to have to do lots of shit that's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To be able to live that lifestyle, to then post that you're on the beach having a great time.
Yeah. How are we doing for time, Tam?
Hour 6.
All right.
Oof.
So I actually want to talk about this on the other podcast, but this works out fucking perfectly. Lessons. A lot of people are going to listen to this. They operate day to day at a higher standard. And when you do that, no one knows anything less of you. So you will never get praise for living the way you live.
Yeah.
So no one's going to sit there, you doing the things you do, changing your physique, running the business, all of that. You're not going to get anywhere near as much praise as the dude who was for 20 years lazy, out of shape, and lost 20 kilos.
Yeah.
They're going to get way more praise for that than someone who lives just to a higher standard all the time.
Yeah. It's the forgotten middle child, right?
And who am I? It's my life in a nutshell. It's my life in a nutshell. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm a middle child, or because I have a tremendous amount of reflection and awareness being older. but you can never let the fact that other people around you will get way more praise for doing things that are way less significant in your eyes because you hold yourself to a higher standard all the time. And that is actually a compliment because they don't know anything else but that.
Yeah.
So I take pride in knowing that I'm never going to get a high degree of, acceptance and praise and et cetera for anything that I really do outside of things that people identify as significant, which will be buying a gym and building it from ground up because everything else I do is normal to them, but is at a higher standard, but it's normal for me.
Yeah.
So anyone who changes careers and gets a new job and drops 20 kilos and whatever, they're going to be like, oh, that's amazing. And everyone's going to be like, yeah. And I'm not saying they shouldn't.
Agreed.
But it does fuck with you sometimes.
Yeah.
And it did when I was younger. I was like, why the fuck is this person getting all this praise for starting their business when I've been doing this for fucking 10 years and no one cared?
Yeah.
But it's because
that expectation's been set.
You always done what you've done. It's like, I love my parents, but they know I've always been okay. Yeah. They know I'm always going to be all right.
Yeah.
So they've never really had to concern themselves with me. Like with my career, with my choices in life, etc.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is that I believe the way it's come across or the way I've interpreted it is that my brothers have been given more and they're more invested in or that it seems like they're more invested in making sure they're okay because of that.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, you'll be fine, bro.
Yeah, we're experiencing the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this cousin got this.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's just
we're okay. So
yeah, and that's all it is. It's like when you hold yourself to a higher standard and you live it day to day, know that people don't know anything less of you.
Yeah,
and that's okay because
where it gets even more wild is start to scale.
Yeah,
because you and I don't. We rarely will be like, bro, you did that fucking great. But the team, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And if it's just you, there's no one to tell you. Because your team aren't gonna, because they think you're Superman.
Yeah.
Woman, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And like Steph gets that all the time. It's like she's just in the back, pulling the strings, taking the heat, even when it's not her fault.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's all these people, things are happening, and they're praising this person and that person. She's just had to bite her tongue and be like, I did that. Mm-hmm. And it's like coming home from that. And I say to her all the time, I say, you're so amazing, and people just expect you to be amazing that someone can literally just like make someone a cup of coffee and get praise for that. Yeah. And you're literally staying up till 10 o'clock at night doing everyone's fucking planners and shit.
Yeah.
But I said, as soon as you stop doing that, they'll then... But you'll never do it because you hold yourself to the standard that you will.
Yeah.
So I said it's hard.
But people get into that resentment hole, right? Where they're like, fuck you, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
we'll see what it looks like without me. Yeah.
And I've even sometimes like gotten a bit toxic because she's upset, and I'm like, well, just don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you don't want to, but then I'm like, no, because that goes against who you are.
Yeah.
And you should never.
Which is why you love her. So you can't do that.
Yeah. It's that whole like, even that conversation we had just before. It's like, you love them and you want to make sure they're okay, but then like you say things just to make them feel better, but you need to take a step back and go, what does she actually need? Yeah. And she probably just needs that, like, she's great, she's amazing, she can do it. People just expect this of you because you're amazing.
Yeah.
Not fucking lower yourself to their level.
Yeah.
You know?
Toxic.
Yeah. It's just a battle, man. Like, no one's perfect. That's what I think the best thing about this is we show that we still fall into those traps and always will. But it's like, how can you get yourself out of them?
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah.
And stop them repeating themselves if you can.
That's the message. And that's what we've always had, even in the mentality unit of stand out and stuff. It's just like, it's not never having the thought.
Yeah.
Like, even when we talk about growth mindset, ownership mindset, it's not never having the thought, the doubt, the reaction, the feeling, the whatever. It's how quickly can you catch it, change it, move on positively.
Yeah. Yeah, catching it.
And that, the speed of that, I was watching Peterson during the week, talking about like relationship communication. And he was talking about how like listening to your wife, ironically, and just like within communication, when you have good communication, it gets better over time because you can get to the real problem faster.
Yeah.
So the biggest battle, obviously, men and women, is like the woman comes home and be like, here's 10 problems.
Yeah.
And his idea was she actually doesn't know which of the 10 problems is the real problem.
Yeah.
And she needs to table them all to then find the one to then fix it. And men try and fix all 10.
Yeah.
So if you can just let them all come out, and then what happens over time is the more you do that, the quicker they find the one.
Man, this literally happened like 2 nights ago. I was
That's
like, obviously dinner unloaded, and then I said, so I waited, and I said, so is the problem this or this?
Yeah.
And then she was like, it's this. That's literally that.
Yeah.
Happening.
That's cool, hey?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, takes a tremendous amount of time to work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you
cool.
get faster at it.
Yeah.
It's been a good year.
Yeah. Amazing.
I think, every podcast download, every Instagram engagement, every DM, every ticket, every possible engagement that we've had with anyone this year, thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's it. Every minute that we have occupied your ears or eyes or both,
yeah,
we appreciate that from the depths of our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we look forward to delivering more in the future and helping you guys with your businesses and seeing us grow and seeing you grow and creating more opportunities to meet and get better together.
Yeah. We want to do something next year that no one's ever done.
Yeah.
The terrifying thing of that has that no one ever done it for a reason.
Yeah, probably. But we'll do it.
The exciting part of that is we're going to push the boundaries, which we've done in the past and have always attempted to do, and we've always been told it's too much. It won't work. You can't.
Slow down.
So it's exciting to be on that precipice again.
Yeah.
Of doing something that's no one else has done. And also, I said this during the week, or even at the meeting, it's not just that we're doing something that no one's ever done before. It's we're doing it with a team that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah.
Like a quality standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only business I can think of that's come close to going as wide is RP. And they haven't gone into trainer education. So it's cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And there's the other stuff. I'm just I'm not sure if we can possibly announce it because I haven't signed the paperwork.
Nah, we'll leave that for next year.
But we'll tell you in January.
Even more stuff to come.
Yeah,
we're making fucking moves, man.
2 contracts will be signed between now and the next episode.
Absolute moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys. It's been a blast. We appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
Ciao.